Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Monday, December 18th. We've got, at least for the first part of this week, some light rain and snow coming back our way, but warmer temperatures are in store as well. That's going to increase that freeze thaw cycle every day across our area with some pretty chilly temperatures remaining in the overnight hours. We have round one coming, and that's mainly later today, tonight, into Tuesday. And we may see something coming through on Christmas. We'll explore that and just how much of a disparity we're seeing in some of the forecast data that we're looking at heading into the upcoming weekend and heading into Christmas Day itself. Satellite. You don't see a lot of low cloud cover this morning. One, because the higher cloud cover is masking it a little bit, but we don't have a ton out there. Most of it's well over into the Treasure Valley. We continue to see some fog socked in from around Georgetown Summit back through Bear Lake and a couple other pockets across the area. But so far, it's probably been the least amount that we've seen in the past several days over central and eastern Idaho. Our weather risk outlook. We could still see a little bit of localized patchy fog into the Magic Valley and the Snake Plain, especially from Pocatello over towards Burley. Also, that a little higher potential down around Bear Lake with the impacts from dense fog and some patchy dense fog still not out of the question in eastern highlands. We're seeing some stratus and low clouds up in portions of Limhi County. Otherwise, later today, we'll see an increase in rain and snow, mainly over the higher elevations, especially up into the central mountains. Tomorrow, that trend continues. The higher elevations in the Magic Valley seeing the best chance. It's not a ton of moisture, not much expected, no major event coming our way. Just some impacts over the higher elevations up, especially north of the Wood River Valley as you're heading up towards Galena, on up into the Sawtooth and the Stanley Basin and some of the surrounding areas. That chance of precipitation really starts to back off Wednesday from west to east. On Thursday, maybe a little bit of activity returning to the central mountains. Then Friday is the start of some precipitation. This looks to continue, depending on the timing of this system, where it goes, how quick it is, heading through Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day. So how are things looking with our storm number one, our round number one of precipitation? By noon, we do have some moisture moving in, and that's going to target the central mountains. That will go into this evening. Probably this particular model we're looking at, there'll be some snow showers around, not much going on, but expect some activity, especially in the central mountains overnight. Into tomorrow, we see the next push coming through and a little more widespread across the area. Again, light precipitation overall for the entire event. This will take us through tomorrow afternoon, and you can see that mainly in the mountains from the Sawtooth westward and down across the southeast corner with this light rain and snow in the forecast. And certainly we got some warm temperatures, like I said, coming back our direction. And for today, it does warm up. We're going to see some more folks above freezing this afternoon, pushing 40, especially down across portions of the Magic Valley, the lower Snake Plain on into the Treasure Valley into the south. And where we've been above the inversion, we've been mixing out the last several days, certainly into the low to mid 40s once again this afternoon. Now, let's look at the snowfall. The official forecast, we got some light snow up around Island Park, Monida Pass, also in the big holes, but most of it's falling in the central mountains, and you'll notice we're not seeing much more than 1 to 3 inches across the board. Now, could there be more or less? Certainly. This is the percent of seeing 1/10 of an inch, basically a dusting, at least a dusting, and you can see it's a little more widespread over the central mountains, certainly highest over or basically the western part of our central mountains into the west central mountains, but still not out of the question as you head up into the rest of our central mountains on up into the eastern highlands, back down in the higher elevations along the Wyoming border and down towards Pomerelle as well. That's the chance of a dusting at least. Going for an inch or more, you can see how quickly that tapers off. We're still looking at potentially some areas in the Sawtooth and the surrounding mountains, 30 to 50, maybe 60% chance. Once you get really high up and over an inch, we really back it off for more than 2 inches. Along the spine of the Sawtooth, we're still looking 30, 40%. So Again, a light snow rain event across the entire region. That's what we're expecting with this round coming through. This really will be done later in the day on Wednesday. The bulk of it, the impact will be later tonight and into tomorrow. Now, we'll skip ahead to Wednesday's temperatures because this is probably going to be Wednesday, Thursday being the warmest days of the area. We'll show you Wednesday. Thursday is not much different. You can see some temperatures in the morning, 20s and 30s. Some areas still at or above freezing over some of our warmer spots by the time we get to this period. You can see a lot more 40s across the board, even some mid to upper 40s once you get into the Magic Valley, on into the Treasure Valley as well. So that freeze thaw cycle is really going to get going for the next few days. So a lot of people are going to start asking, what about the holiday? What about Christmas Eve? What about Christmas Day? What are the chances of a white Christmas? Well, first of all, we'll go to the temperatures on Friday. Forgot about that. Not much difference. Dropping off a little bit as we start to get a little more shower activity and cloud cover in by the end of the week. So now, this is a sample. This is just a 72-hour forecast for basically Saturday, Sunday, into Christmas morning for both Pocatello and Stanley. And this is not, we're not telling you it's going to snow an inch. We're not going to tell you it's going to snow 20 inches. This is basically the probability of seeing some snow. And bring this up, you'll notice the higher numbers are around 1 to 3 inches. That's with our blend of models forecast. That's kind of a general, taking everything into account, what's going to happen. And you'll notice the higher numbers, especially at Pocatello. You'll notice that 42%, that's a 42% chance of seeing over an inch, 21% of over 4 inches, 14% of over 6, and we're still seeing 5-ish to 10% of anything over a foot. So it's not going. We're not saying it's going to snow a foot. We're not going to say it's going to get a dusting here in Pocatello. That just kind of gives you an idea of just exactly the craziness we're looking at with that pattern coming up over the holiday weekend. So just beware. We could see some snow and may have to deal with some travel issues over the holiday weekend. It's one of these deals. Start paying attention just to see how things change over the next several days, because I guarantee you it's going to change, and it's going to change a lot between now and heading into the weekend. So, again, clouds increasing across the area. We don't have a lot of low cloud and fog issues this morning, except maybe down around Bear Lake. The warmer temperatures will continue, and they peak midweek. Our first little round of moisture comes through, and just beware, we may see something. There's even some models that don't have much precipitation at all over the holiday weekend. So that, like I said, it's kind of crazy right now of where things are going. Just start paying attention and see how things evolve over the next few days, especially if you're going out of town or have plans in the outdoors. Have a great Monday, and do stay safe out there, everyone.